The information, comments, and recommendations contained herein are not within the scope of investment consultancy. Investment advisory service is provided within the framework of the investment advisory service to be signed between the customer and beekeeping institutions, per education companies, non-deposit accepting banks. My comments on this channel are only my personal comments. These comments belong to you. Your financial situation and risk return may not be appropriate. Therefore, no investment should be made based on the information and comments on my channel.
Many of our friends have asked for a more detailed explanation about InvestPro. Today we will examine InvestPro together. When you click on the link in the description, the discount code will be activated automatically, and you will be able to benefit from discounts up to 45%. So, what is an InvestPro? Create a new follow list from the follow list and choose the companies you want. You can click here and access the data specific to Investing Pro. You can copy the strategies of many famous names from the Ideas section. You can view many strategies by artificial intelligence specific to Investing Pro in the Buy Pro Stock Selection section, but it is very important and valuable to benefit from artificial intelligence here. You can filter the strategies that come to your mind from the Viewer section. The Data Discovery section is an area where you can find many data one by one. In the Graph section, you can select the graph you want from the left and see the performance of the stocks in a single graph. In the Registered Studies section, you can save all the data you have obtained and examine it one by one. Yes, I have introduced Investing Pro to you with its general uses now. We can start my weekly analysis reports. The information, comments, and recommendations contained here are not within the scope of investment consultancy. The investment consultancy service is provided within the framework of the investment consultancy agreement to be signed between brokerage firms, management companies, banks that do not accept deposits, and customers. The risk may not be suitable for your location. For this reason, based on the information and comments on my channel, investments should definitely not be made. Dear friends, my special comments on the Invest channel are made every Monday at 10 o'clock. There is an Investing Pro application, especially for our friends who are stock market investors. They can easily carry out EEE transactions from foreign stock exchanges and get good support here with artificial intelligence. I shared how this application is in my video last week, and especially I will leave the link of last week's promotional video in the description section. From there again, investing well, how to invest both in foreign stock exchanges and foreign stock exchanges, you can do this, and how you can distribute the risks using artificial intelligence. I will leave my link below explaining this. What developments will we follow in foreign markets this week? Let's start with the Borsa Istanbul Y index first, which will interpret the answers to the questions for you. Borsa Istanbul Y index had completed last week at 8,793 points level. During the last week, InvestTekken in all his videos and here in his live broadcast, do not be afraid of the stock market. Do not be afraid of the stock market between 8,800 and 9,000 points, especially medium and long-term investors. I have often stated that investors who have the patience to wait for at least 6 months should definitely stay on the side of the stock market, and that my expectation for the 12,000 point level again by the end of the year continues. His face is EEE Guler, so my expectation is that the stock market investor will win. I personally think that we should not be afraid of the stock market in this direction. In this week's particular, I will be following the 8,800 to 9,050 point range. In this week's particular, I will be following the 8,800 to 9,050 point level in the Borsa Istanbul 100 index. And in this week's particular, will there be closings above the 99,000 point level? Technically, this will be important for me. The dollar rate is at the level of 34.26 cents, and, as I have stated throughout the year, the declines in exchange rates are not permanent. Especially our friends who trade with foreign currency and need foreign currency need to know this. And since the general outlook on the foreign exchange side is positive, especially when trading with foreign currency, our friends who do business need to know this. Even though we are faced with a suppressed exchange rate, the possibility of it being released is still getting stronger every day. Well, this possibility is getting stronger. I would like to express that I do not expect a decrease in exchange rates in general. Especially when we do questions and answers, for example, we insistently ask about the dollar or the euro. We have friends who are foreign exchange investors. If I am going to invest in foreign currency with reform and you think of foreign currency as an investment tool, foreign currency is not an investment tool, So you need to know that the euro is at a lower level, as I expressed this last week, because the euro-dollar parity is as follows. When can you exit the euro-dollar parity, which is currently at the level of 1.0850, above until the end of the year? By the end of this year, I expect a rise up to the level of 112,271.12280. Let's even say 1.13, roughly up to the level of 1.13. Since I have an expectation by the end of this year, it will reach the level of 1.09. It seems reasonable to me to consider gold figures as a buying opportunity. So I have the answer to the question, so, dollar or euro? For the last week, the euro has remained in TL, especially for investors who want to protect themselves. Well, if it remains in TL, should I buy dollars? Should I buy euro? Should I buy gold? Should I buy silver? If there is a question mark in one's mind, personally, I would prefer to buy dollars or euros. When there is a decline in ounces of gold and ounces of silver, well, I will make my value on the gold and silver side again on the ounce side, but I will neither buy gold nor silver at this price, or I will not enter the cryptocurrency market. This price is currently the cheapest investment sheet of this week, a Guinea euro. I would like to specifically point out that I have TL in my hand. How should I use it this week? I think investors who are waiting should evaluate this. Well, I have a dollar in my hand. How can I evaluate it specifically for this week? You can make 1 euro %, but you should not do gold and silver. 10 gold is currently at the level of $2,731. In my video on Friday, there are resistances of 2,730 and 27,780 above, and in your column on tv100.com today. Technically, I wrote in my column which band ranges to follow. Even though the $2,730 level is tested, and there is 2,780 resistance above, I personally would not prefer to enter the gold side, as I have stated for the last month. Especially, I would never, ever look at the numbers above the $2,700 level. I would not prefer to enter the basis for the investor. Ounce gold is too expensive to enter. Gram gold is too expensive to invest. What do we always say to the gram gold investor? Follow the ounce gold. Since ounce gold continues to maintain its strong stance in the dollar, gram gold naturally started the week with an increase, but the answer to the question of whether I would buy it is definitely no. I would continue to wait for ounce gold. What is our expectation for ounce gold? I have frequently expressed this in the last week and the weeks before that, especially the level of $2,580. It makes more sense for the investor who expects the declines in gold ounces or grams. If it is evaluated on the euro side of the cash, it makes more sense. However, I am not an analyst who sees it as appropriate to buy gold at this level, neither gram gold nor tin gold. That's why my expectation for the $280 level continues. Prices are quite high at the moment. Investors who are patient can make costs lower. Yes, my expectation for 2025 is $3,500. There is no long-term problem, but it is pregnant with profit sales in the short term. Technically, it is pregnant with corrections. There is an ounce of gold. Well, it can start this as soon as possible. Especially gold investors should be very careful about those who will make new costs. I'm talking about it, but the investor who holds gold should continue to wait on the sidelines. Well, once again, there is a decline in the ratio side, and with the rise, I will give you a different tactic for it. As I said, gram gold is at the level of 3,128 lira. Here too, there will be downward movements again. I am waiting in the coming weeks. I have a TLM in my hand from here. Would I buy it? The answer to this question is no. I would buy euros again. I would wait for it to fall without it. It seems more logical. Yes. Well, let's look at the ounce price of silver. A new record at $34.07. The week started with the record of 12 years ago. The ounce price of silver. Well, and our expectations regarding the gram price of silver for this year have come true. 37 lira, $37. This is the level I have been talking about for 10 months. $37, 37 liras, and therefore, here we have a silver price that is pregnant with profit sales again. It will make new costs. I think our friends who will newly move to the silver side should wait because, well, the ounce price of silver is at full price with profit sales. There is a possibility of a withdrawal to the level of $31, or even to the level of $0.80. Would I buy silver at these prices? No, yes. We continue to wait for the $37 level again. That is different, but a return of around 6.5% on Friday of last week is a return. After the rise, there will be curse sales, and here, on the ounce silver side, grams are not a level to enter on the silver side. Our new friends who will come have to wait for the $31 level in the ounce price of silver. The gram price of silver is at the level of 37L52 Karush. There is TL. I missed the rise of this silver. Should I buy silver, or would I buy silver? I would definitely not buy it. My expectation on the silver side is negative due to silver. So, on this side, let me put it this way. I expect a decline to the level of 34 lira. I expect a decline to the level of 34 lira. I think the outlook for the price is pregnant with negative profit sales. Be careful, these levels are too high to make costs again. Of course, it is due to the ratio, as you know. These aggressive increases, we may see increases again on the ratio side. Well, our expectation for the Getty gold-silver ratio is up to the level of $8.5. Our expectation is $72, as you know. Our expectation continues here as well. We will keep our silence until the level of $72. 2 months ago, we transferred the gold we had to silver. We continue to wait silently with our companions. We are not interested in the tin side or the gram side. On the MP side, generally, the ratio is more important for us. That's why I'm talking about silver. That's why on the ratio side, there may be upward movements again in these upward movements. In these upward movements, investors who hold gold but do not have silver in their hands can turn the rises in the gold-silver ratio into an opportunity in order to distribute the risk or take a silver position. Again, with the rapid recovery on the ratio side during the week, I can especially express at which levels to enter. Well, for the last month, in all my comments, the ratio is 84.85. I have stated this frequently on my X account, my Instagram account, and my other social media accounts. I have gold in my hand, but I do not have silver. The ratio is at 85 level. The ratio is at 84 level. I have warned you not to miss the opportunities dozens of times. I would like to buy and sell again. Brent petrol, the current price, is at the level of $73.23. Positive movements may continue here again. I will be following the resistance of $75 and $77. Bitcoin is at the level of $68.732. The 63.500 resistance was broken again. The second resistance level reached the level of $68.500. Our target by the end of this year is $80.000. The level is on this side on the Bitcoin side. We continue to expect the level of $80,000 by the end of the year, but we are faced with a Bitcoin fluctuating in the broadband range. That is why our friends who trade in the cryptocurrency market should be very careful. Well, here 58,568, 1,558, 1,563,500, we may be facing a Bitcoin market fluctuating in the broadband range. On the other hand, this week specifically in global markets and foreign markets, there is no important data flow that we will follow. Well, the markets will have a calm and optimistic week. Our eyes and ears will be the news flows from the Middle East. The news flows in the Middle East will give more direction to the markets and for the markets. It will be more decisive for taking a position. So with the geopolitical tensions that will be experienced in the Middle East, our friends need to be sensitive to the news flows coming from here. But to sum up our conversation and the developments in the markets, this week's special is gold, definitely buy silver, and definitely buy Bitcoin. Oh wait, what would I do specifically for this week? Well, I have TL in my hand. I would make half of it gold and half of it into dollars. I would definitely wait for ounces of gold and ounces of silver to fall. I would definitely not enter the cryptocurrency market on the MTA side. As you know, I cannot buy gold and silver, as they are high, provided that the percent is converted into euros, and wait for at least 112.50 level. If you can wait, by the end of the year, 122 level, 112250 level will be on your radar. You can convert half of the dollar to euro from here. I have such an expectation. That's why, especially this week, the cheapest instruments I see are the euro in the first place, the dollar in the second place. Dear friends, you can make your decision accordingly. We will comment on the markets in general during the week, and I will warn you from time to time about the lists that will live in the markets. Well, as I said, every Monday at 10 o'clock. Well, I will comment on the markets on live broadcast before 10 o'clock. Do not direct your assets. Do not make a decision. Listen first and then you decide. Our friends who want to trade in the stock exchanges should definitely become a member of Envies Pro. With the membership here, I think it will improve itself a lot. It has various advantages. You will benefit from them well. Do not be afraid of the stock market. I say especially to the stock market investor. Our target at the end of the year is 12,000 points. Is the level of 12,000 points suitable for entry? Or is it to reduce the average cost? Are these levels suitable for? I think they are quite appropriate levels. Dear friends, thank you for listening. I greet you, your children, and your family. Have a blessed week again. I hope your business goes well. Goodbye. Most of our friends have asked for a more detailed explanation about Invest Pro. Today, we will examine Invest Pro together. When you click on the link in the description section, the discount code will be activated automatically, and you will be able to benefit from discounts up to 45%. Well, there is Investing Pro. You can create a new watch list from the tracking list and add the companies you want here and access the data specific to Investing Pro. You can copy the strategies of many famous names from the Ideas section. You can copy the strategies of many famous names from the Buy Pro Share Selections section. You can view many strategies by artificial intelligence specific to, but it is very important to benefit from artificial intelligence here. You can filter the strategies that you would not even think of from the Viewer section. The Data Discovery section is an area where you can find many data one by one. In the Graph section, you can select the graph you want from the left and see the performances of the stocks in a single graph. You can see all the data you have obtained in the Registered Studies section and review it one by one. Yes, I have introduced Investing Pro to you, along with its general uses.